Previously on Homesteady. We have a very big announcement to make here at Homesteady. We're going to stop with all animals completely, get rid of all the livestock on the farm, because we've realized, despite enjoying that, we're really good at producing one thing more than the thing we produce best is mud. So from now on, this channel, we want to focus on the organic, free-range production of mud. We're drowning in mud, everybody, and we have to address this problem. So we're attacking this problem: gutters, putting in drainage, footing drains, French drains, just using some geotextile fabric and gravel to solve the problems.
This is starting already, our puddles. So we're getting it fixed within the next couple weeks.
We have had that wetness issue out there for a long time, and we've been talking about, let's fix it, and a couple were asking, like, what are you waiting for? You were talking about it in the spring. Springtime we had a bad storm and it busted the roof on this barn, and we had to redo the barn. So all the money we were saving towards this big project went towards a new roof in the barn. So the water comes flying down this hill, sits down in the barn. We have this giant pile of gravel, which means we can get started on this big project of improving the drainage around our barn, and you'll be seeing that in the upcoming videos. So what we're gonna do is put a curtain drain, some people call them French drains. We're gonna be putting a curtain drain on this side of the barn, lengthwise. It's gonna come back here and turn like an L, and then it's gonna come across the back of the barn here, across the back, and go out over the hillside over there. Now while we're doing that, we're also gonna put in a couple of traction mats here. We're gonna put filter fabric paper down, big gravel, and then small gravel. Right about here, we're gonna put a frost-free, energy-free cow waterer. And what that'll do is all winter long, instead of this, all winter long, with an electric cord plugged into it, we'll just have an automatic on-demand frost-free, energy-free waterer. Well, this place looks different. If you can't tell, the project that we've been talking about all spring, summer, and into the fall that we were gonna do here at the homestead, the big drainage, fixing all the water issues and the muck and mud problems, well, it started. And I have to apologize because we actually started this project yesterday, and for a project I've been talking about and telling you we're going to be covering, and you'll see it soon, well, the first day's video, you're not going to get to see the way I wanted you to see it. We already have installed on the barn, right next to the barn, some gravel traction mats, walkways. It's going to help the drainage. And yesterday we did a whole video showing you how we did that. In that video I introduced my parents, who are visiting from Connecticut to help us do this project. My mom and dad have a company, AJM Septic and Excavating. They are experts in the field of drainage and water issues. So they're here for the week to help me fix the problems here in our barn. They brought a mini excavator with them, which we filmed unloading and setting up. Dad brought his laser with us so we could shoot some grades and elevations and make sure everything was gonna work. My kids were out here helping. We removed a lot of the earth up next to the barn, and we put in fresh new gravel. We filmed all this, but unfortunately something was wrong with my microphone and we lost all the audio. So yesterday we left off with our gravel right by the barn. We put some large size 4 gravel, and now what we're gonna do is top dress it with a much smaller, like 2-inch gravel. And that way any animals walking on it or people won't roll an ankle, because the size 4-inch stuff is large and chunky. We're gonna top dress it with that, and then we're gonna start digging livestock, traction, geotextile, fabric, gravel mats. I gotta come up with a better way to refer to those things. So we're back from day 1. This is day 2. The microphone is working, I've checked, and what we're gonna do now is we're gonna start on the real bigger part of this project, which, although we missed out on day 1, really all we did was put in some gravel sidewalks. So you didn't miss a whole lot. We laid out the whole job, but you know, that's our own thing. So now we're gonna start on day 2 with this project. We're gonna show you as we set up and start digging curtain drains, which will help remove surface water and some groundwater away from this area so that it dries it out. We're gonna be installing geotextile livestock traction pads, whatever you wanna call them. Basically, they're a big gravel pad that's designed for livestock. We're gonna begin work on our automatic livestock waterer. It's a frost-free, energy-free watering hydrant for cows, horses, pigs. It's awesome. We're gonna work on that. We have a lot of work to do and lots more video to come from this project. I think this will really help you if you have issues like this in the future. We're gonna show you how we do this. You could DIY it yourself if you're able to use some machines. You could hire an excavator like my parents to come and help you out. If you live in the Connecticut area, you can hire my parents. We'll put contact information below. We're gonna get started on day 2 here, and now we'll actually take you along with us. So for day 2, we're gonna start digging some drains. So let's get started because we got a lot of work to do.
Your coffee's there.
Oh, thanks, sir.
Let's put the dogs in.
One in there, lady. Better grass over there. You're going the wrong way, huh?
So we all be on one side. Yeah. You know, just step. That's good.
Over here, everybody. Hey, over here. So, I worked with my dad before we did all of this. I worked with my dad doing septics and excavating for years. And so we know this is kind of like what we would do every day, with the one difference being before we get started, we warm the machines up, we run the glow plugs, we fill them with diesel, and then we get the cows out of the way. Yesterday I heard Dad say, I can't go, there's a cow in the way of my gravel pile, and that was the first. One of the tools that we use when we are digging a trench, digging one of these livestock pads, basically anytime we're digging and we need what we're digging to either be really flat or to go at a certain grade, is a laser. We used to use what was called a transit, which was a tool that required 2 people to work it at once. Nowadays we use this laser. Let's see here. All right, that's good. So this laser, what this does is it has a little beam that shoots out and it spins really quickly 360 degrees around, shooting that laser beam out. And if we level this unit, which we can do, we have a level on this side and a level on that side, and we can adjust it on both the X and Y axis so it's perfectly level. It sends out that laser line level. We then have a stick with a receiver on it, and that laser, when it hits the receiver, it will beep, telling us that we are at that same height. So we adjust the stick as we need to, whether we need to go up, down, or maintain a straight line. We walk around with that stick hearing the beeps, beep, 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 beep. Okay, we know we're good here, beep, beep, beep. We're good here. Oh, it's not beeping. What if we go down a little? Oh, now it's beeping. Now we're good. This is the tool we use to either dig something flat, like we did for these pads, or to dig something at a slope, like we're gonna do with our drains. So we're gonna get this set up right now and make sure we're ready to go. So this here is basically a giant ruler, which we can use to measure as we go. This is the receiver. the receiver beeps when it picks up that laser signal. And because the laser we know is shooting out perfectly level, because we adjusted it on the X and Y axis. So the way we use this, we can set our receiver on our giant ruler here to where it's beeping. And then if we move, we can find that same elevation using our laser. We can also use this to make changes in our digging according to what we need. So for example, this concrete pad I'm standing on, we want it to be 2 feet higher. From the top of the concrete pad, we want to go down 2 feet to the bottom of our trench. So what I'm going to do, using my giant ruler here, I'm going to take the elevation at the top of the concrete pad, which is right there. The number I'm reading is 16.9. If I want to go down 2 feet from 16.9, I'm going to actually, if you can imagine this stick going down 2 feet, it means the numbers are going up on the stick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from 16.9 to 17.9 to 18.9. So I'll put this at 18.9. And now, as this goes down 2 feet into the ground, once we hit that point where it's 2 feet in the ground, we'll hear the beep. Right now it's only about 1 foot, so we got to go down a whole nother foot. I can now use this stick with the receiver across our whole curtain drain to make sure we get the right level all the way across. We don't want the beginning of the drain to be down 2 feet and at the end of the drain wind up coming up a foot and suddenly our water is going the wrong direction. So using the laser, the giant ruler or stick as we call it, and the receiver and a little bit of math, we can figure out how to dig over an extended distance, up, down, or perfectly level. Now some levels you can do fancy stuff with, build in your up and down and your degrees and how steep you want to dig. But this one's just kind of a nice, easy, simple to use one that shoots a straight level and we do all the thinking for it. Dad slipped away for a second. I've never run this machine. I figured I'd jump in while he's gone.